Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bobby Sullivan here on a gross, dingy, rainy Saturday afternoon, and here in Ontario, windy, stormy, gross. And but I tell you what, yesterday I'm actually, still in my coaching garb here. My boy Micah went out playing for Holy Cross yesterday. Man, the boys lost 8-4. What kind of a football score is that? 8-4. That's like a baseball score. But anyway, their season is done. But last night we went to go watch CCH. Central Catholic beat up on St. Thomas Aquinas. That was a killer game, 34-31. CCH ruled over there. Cam Geddes and the boys, from the Western Mustangs, Junior Mustangs. What can I say? Of course, there's some Mustang guys on SDA as well. So it was a great football game. Freezing. I had a layer upon layer on. And I want to give a big shout out before I get into this today to my wife. My wife started a business with Norwex. And many of you have heard of that company. Many of you are calling. Some of you are going to even call now. And This company is crazy. I mean, there's no startup fees. They give you a whole boatload of product, crazy catalogs. I mean, it's amazing. But I've got to tell you, my son Cody has the stankiest. I mean, I'm not saying stinky. I'm talking about stanky. He's got the stankiest feet. How many of you got a kid or a husband? Maybe they live on a farm or something, and they got the stankiest feet. Well, in covering the stankiest feet were his shoes. And I'm telling you, man, it'll peel the paint off of a wall. I mean, it is that stanky. Well, Cheryl took this product. I'll put my glasses on, you don't mind. This product from Norwex, and it's called Sportzyme right here. It's like 18 bucks. This has been the best 18 bucks anybody has ever purchased because this product alone, just a little spray in there, took all the smell out. Now, this is not some kind of chemical-induced thing that just covers up and masks the smell. I could try to read it to you. Special bioactive formula contains fast-acting enzymes that break down and eliminate organic residues that cause odors in shoes, equipment bags, and sporting equipment. Lightly spray it over the entire surface where the odor is present. Reapply as needed. This stuff is nuts. It's like the shoes smell brand new again. So if you want to check it out, go to Cheryl's website, www.mynorwex, Norwex, home, mynorwexhome.com. You're going to find just a boatload of products in here. It's just endless. That this is really, really kind of crazy. So, hey, that's my shout out for today with that. But I want to talk to you today about a subject that has been kind of really dear to me. It was presented to me, actually, probably, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago by Rick Linus, 2-star ambassador in Visalis. And he was talking about, contentment and complacency. So I did a little study on it, did a little word study. And you're thinking, contentment and complacency? No, you're not going down that road. Well, yeah, I am. I'm going to go down that road because there's a fine line. The fine line that is drawn, between contentment and complacency. It can be very, very sketchy. Pardon the glare of my glasses. I can lean my head back like this. I know, what's the matter, brother? But anyway, so how do you know the difference between the two? Because both of the actions can be really confused between contentment and complacency. I mean, the one person who says that they are content may actually just be complacent using contentment as an excuse. While the other person who says they don't want to be complacent may actually be contented. And you're like, oh, snap. This just got a whole lot more complicated. This sounds like a philosophy course. But I want you to see something because the word content in the Greek, it means sufficient for oneself, strong enough or processing enough to need no aid or support. It talks about independence. It talks about contented, meaning, you're okay with everything. However, the word complacent, I'm just looking at my notes as you can kind of tell without trying to do this glare thing. The word complacent means pleased, especially with oneself or one's merits or disadvantages. It often is without an awareness of some potential danger or defect, or it talks about self-awareness or self-satisfied. I've always kind of felt this: the very moment that you are satisfied and content, that's the very moment that you actually start slipping backwards. I think you should know your limits and then ignore them. I think you should get to the point where you want to rewrite history today to redefine your future. I talked to a dear friend last night, Roxanne Huggard. Big kudos to Roxanne. Join us on the Zeal for Life Challenge. And we were talking about our whys. Not our wives, our why. Why do we do what we do? Why do you pastor a church? Why are you an evangelist? How about why are you a Christian? Why do you believe? Why do you believe something that you can't really see? Why do you believe? Why? Why do you join a business? Our whole lives are filled with whys. And so it took me 2 years to kind of figure out what my why was, because I was never really content with anything. I'm never really satisfied in satisfaction. For those of you who know me, I seem to be always evolving. I'm always progressing. I remember my father-in-law told me one time that, I was a dreamer. I was like, hey, thank you. Because I've said before that the dreams that have never come true are the dreams that have never been dreamt. But if all you ever do is sit back and dream, then that's all you'll ever be, is a dreamer. And so we talked about my why last night. And, having 3 dads, living in an orphanage, powdered milk, government cheese, all this kind of stuff, welfare, growing up. It took me 2 years to figure out what that was, but what is it that drives me? And it's not just compulsion, it's not just zeal, it's not fervor, it's not drive, but my why in everything that I do, as soon to be 53 in a month, believe it or not, is I didn't want my past to be a seed to my future. And see, it can be summed up right there. That I was not content, in the way things were, but I'm not complacent either. And so I want to tackle that subject for a little bit, because the definitions are so close, and yet the key element in both definitions is the fact that contentment is being satisfied but still striving for more, while being complacent is to accept our circumstances without any drive to go forward. So the danger of not moving forward is what is ignored in complacency. So I want to give you some scriptural examples of both, because Paul in the Bible shows us the importance of being content but not complacent. So 1 Timothy says, but in godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. So there's a lot of people that can be content with nothing. They can be content with just surviving. They can be content just having a bathing suit on an island somewhere, sipping pina coladas and, enjoying themselves with, down in Margaritaville. They can be content, But sometimes the most content people are those who feel insulated and isolated on their own little island. And that may be you, and that may be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But many of us are not content, with sometimes who we are, where we're living, because, we have desires. 1 Timothy says, but as for you, O man of God, flee these things. He says, pursue righteousness and godliness, faith, love, steadfastness, gentleness. Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called and about which you made the good confession in the presence of many witnesses. In other words, Paul is telling Timothy that contentment is great gain. But a few verses later, he then tells him to pursue, to fight, to take hold of. So how can we be content and pursue and fight and take hold of all at the same time? Well, the answer is in knowing the difference between contentment versus complacency. Contentment says that I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful, but not going to be idle. Complacency says I'm satisfied and unwilling to move out of my comfort zone. You know what? Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, Saturday or Sunday night, 9 o'clock on our Shake the Kingdom call. I'm going to finish this teaching. It's just a little tidbit right there, a little teaser, right? Just a little bit of teaser on complacency versus contentment. And I do pray today that, God will stir some things up, inside of you, that God will make you a little bit restless. Because how many know that there is more to life than just breathing? There is more to life than just existing. I've said this week that I would much rather wear out than rust out. And sometimes, when you think that phrase, you're thinking striving, you're thinking work, you're thinking all sorts of things. But, for me, my greatest demise, not demise, that's not the right word. My greatest, I don't know if it's my greatest anything. I don't like sitting idle. Let's just put it that way. I don't like sitting idle. I am like go, 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 go. And there are times I need to sit back and I need to take chill and I need to get a vacation and probably need one right now. But I just want to encourage you, go to my blog. It's www.iambobbysullivan.com. You'll see keys for success there. You'll see stuff on how to get, your Norwex spray odor. Maybe this, that would be a good one. I want that would be like. There's all sorts of things on there, all kind of products about our ministry, about Asante, soon to be about Impact Church, all kind of great things. Go there. I know you're going to love it. I know you're going to have a blast there. There's going to be all kind of stuff that you can, grab and get out of that. So with all of that, in mind, here it is, Saturday morning, Bobby Sullivan. Are you complacent or are you content? This is Bob, over and out, Brian Beatty. So I said, Bob!